co-constructed text language experience approach. How can I use co-constructed text to help my bilingual learners read text with confidence? Co-constructed texts are written when teachers and students or students work with each other to create a text. There are many variations. The format that we will focus on is called the Language Experience Approach, or LEA. The main goal is to promote reading and writing through the use of personal experiences and oral language. We'll look at an example, and then we'll learn more about the method. The Pet Field Trip by Yanni, Ulisa, Nancy, Edith, and Kimberly. These are 5 kindergarten students at varying levels of English proficiency. They gave me the story, they told me the story, and I typed it up for them. I'm going to flip through the pages, and I want you to notice the types of language and the way they're expressing their experience. This was their favorite page, as you can imagine. We read this text multiple times to the point where most of the kindergartners could read it on their own. This is a pretty high-level text for kindergartners to be able to read on their own. That's one of the powerful points of LEA. These are the steps. Number 1, the class or student has an experience connected to the curriculum. It's important that you're building your LEA from the curriculum. It is not something extra. And really, it needs to be an experience, not just reading a book. It's actually going out and doing something. Students then recount the experience, and the teacher writes down the story using the student's language. This step is very important for bilingual learners. Then you read the story often to the point where students begin to read the text on their own. All throughout, there's many extension activities that go with the LEAs. Why is this so powerful for bilingual learners? It uses the student's own vocabulary, language patterns, and experience to create readable text. That is powerful. In a typical LEA, the discussion about what to write is key. This is where the students are developing their ideas and the language to express those ideas. This part is especially important for bilingual learners. As the teacher, you're going to need to give varying levels of support during the conversation piece, depending on the English proficiency level. Beginning English level learners will need a lot of support. Intermediate, not so much. And advanced, perhaps just a little bit. In LEA, there's a fine line between teacher support and student-owned text. Teachers may expand the language of the students as they create the text, but the language must remain close to the student's current level, so that they will have close to a 100% readable text. For example, an overly ambitious teacher could make the text unreadable for the students. Finally, our pet tour concluded in Mrs. Marino's class, where she is proprietor of an amazing fire-bellied toad. The kindergartners in my class could not read that sentence, or I would guess they would not be able to read that sentence. LEA also works with older learners, especially those who are struggling to read in English. One of the biggest advantages of LEA for older learners is it allows them to escape the humiliation of reading books that are at a lower cognitive level than their reading level. This chimp book is the example. Here is another example of an LEA. This student was in 3rd grade and had been at my school since kindergarten, instructed only in English. He was reading at a level 4, which was the previously shown chimp story. He dictated this story to me and I wrote it down. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to read it. So you see how so much language came out of this student when he was writing about something that was close to his life. He read this book and he reread it. He read it to the principal. He read it to visitors in the school. And this text changed his idea of himself as a reader. So in your reading for this week, I have included another powerful example of a story from an older learner called The Day I Almost Died. LEAs provide many opportunities for extension activities. Please pay attention to pages 9 and 10 in the Johnson article for some excellent ideas. There's also great opportunities for variations on the LEAs. You can use it in content-based informational classes like science. An LEA after a science experiment is excellent. An LEA around a math real-life problem solving works so well. You can also create bilingual texts in an LEA. Next up, all right, you've watched this video. You're going to read 3 short readings that give you more information about LEAs. Lastly, you're going to look at a list of student look-fors. These are the language and literacy behaviors that we're targeting with the LEAs. I'm hoping that that will help you become an observer of your bilingual learners. Thank you very much.